What's good? No load time. Woo, so good to be back with you guys. Obed and I are here, ready to rock and roll. Lots of great information coming out. So glad to have you all here with us. If you're new, make sure you are subscribed to the No Load Time podcast. We're on podcast platforms of your choice: iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, Spotify, Amazon Music. Find us there. You can also make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube channel where we're broadcasting live. So make sure you're out on these places. Really helps us out. We've got a great show coming to you today. We're going to be talking about, of course, the Bad Batch again, giving a further update around that. We're going to be talking about Ant-Man, which, if you have a moment, I hope you've gotten a chance to either make plans to see the movie or you have seen the movie. We're recording this right now on Friday, February 17th. Movie came out yesterday. And on our channel here, I went ahead and on our YouTube channel, I went ahead and put out a video of me doing a full breakdown, spoilers, all the good talk around it, post-credit scenes, you name it. First couple minutes of the video is non-spoilers, so you're safe to watch it. If the beginning part, if you have not seen the movie, you can get my non-spoiler impression, and then I put up in the corner of the screen spoiler warning when I start talking spoilers. So it's an opportunity for everyone to watch it, but of course you'd have to come back, pause it, come back and watch the rest of it when you see the movie. But yeah, all that content we're bringing out to you guys. We're looking forward to more of that kind of content coming to the channel. So make sure you're sticking around. Obed, how's it going, man?
It's going. Hold on. Give me 1 second because now my mic
Okay.
is out of whack here.
Oh no. Okay.
I'm gonna try and excuse me, not
Oh,
be too loud until I fix the limiter on my mic because for some reason you update OBS and everything breaks. Stream broke, camera broke, mic broke. But we're here. We're live. Things happen when you go live, right?
things happen.
Things
But if
happen.
anyone can fix it, you got it,
Oh,
Obed. You got
thank you,
this.
sir. I appreciate your confidence.
Master Obed One Kenobi.
Yeah. No, doing good, man. Not much happening on my end. There's been, again, still very very busy with work, family, and all that. I did have a chance to check out the fourth episode of The Last of Us. That was very good. I heard this last episode is really really good, so I can't wait to watch that. Probably gonna try and watch
Did
that
they shift it
tomorrow.
back to Sunday or did they leave
They
it
shifted, as
Fridays?
far as I know, they shifted back to Sunday. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
But it was very good episode again. Very solid. So, yeah, it shows phenomenal. So I'm looking forward to watching this last episode. Haven't played anything new. I'm on that stage where I'm doing side stuff on God of War until Resident Evil 4 comes out, and I'll probably play some Dragon Ball here and there. Um, I I really want that update for rollback netcode to come out because I really want to go back online. I don't want to go back online until it's fixed, to be honest with
Right.
you. Um, so I'm very much looking forward to it. And yeah, but before we talk Bad Batch, um, I want to hear what you have to say about a small independent film that you had the opportunity to watch last night. Ant and the
Yeah.
Wasp, Quantum Mania. Take it away while I fix my mic.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So, oh my goodness, like I said, that video I put out yesterday, it's got spoilers. This is right now. I'm just gonna give you just general impressions. But in all fairness, the movie has gone really slammed from a critical standpoint. I went into it and really lowered my expectations. I was really excited for this movie, but when I saw the reviews coming in around that 50% trial, I think right now it's like 48, 49, something like that, bounces around on at least on Rotten Tomatoes. And I must say, look, I'm not coming against critics. I'm not saying that they're wrong. I just thought it was on par with what I was expecting it to be. Like it actually was the movie I thought I was gonna get. Um, and I said this on the video I put out yesterday about how like Ant-Man is not Superman. Like if this is not a character that's it's generally heroic in the sense that we're used to maybe with superheroes. He's a fun, lighthearted type of character, and then you take a character like that and put him in the quantum realm, right? And you have this whole universe stuff going on. It's gonna get goofy. It's gonna get silly, and it felt more relatable to like Guardians of the Galaxy from an aesthetic standpoint and mix it with the comedy a little bit. But at the same extent of all the Ant-Man movies, it's way more serious compared to the other ones. And that just has to do with obviously Kang being an Avengers level threat. Um, I think and some people are saying this, are already seeing this conversation going on Twitter where just like how Man of Steel, which I made the Superman reference, right?
Mm.
Man of Steel had like a 50% on Rotten Tomatoes, but it has like an 80% score from audiences.
Okay. Okay.
I feel
Yeah.
very similar with this movie,
Interesting. All right.
where like it's not really a good movie necessarily, but it's
Okay.
a good Ant-Man movie. Like I think like little by little, the first two movies are kind of self-contained, right? Like you didn't have to really watch any other movies. You could just pop one of them on and be good. But with this one, this new one that just came out, it's like the first episode of a long-running TV show, where it just kind of gets you back to the MCU roots, when you really think about it. So it's really this new phase, and they're kind of introducing these themes and ideas of between the quantum realm and time. And time was shown really well in the Loki show, obviously. And there's some other things that they do in here I won't spoil. That's like they could have gone even crazier with, and could have made it completely ridiculous, but even in the craziness, they're trying to really educate it for like the fan base to get people understanding this is the way that things are going to go. People didn't some people loved Guardians, and people thought it was kooky at first, but then that whole cosmic shift, right? The first introduction of Thanos was obviously really huge as we come to Infinity War and Endgame. I think this is a similar type of movie. I do not love the movie. I'll give it a thumbs up, not a double thumbs up.
Okay.
But it's an 8 out of 10. It's a good film.
All right. Cool. That's good to know. Um, I I only watched one review. I watched a Jeremy
Okay.
John's review on it,
Oh, that'd be
and
fun.
no, and it was like kind of like what you said, right? It was like, well, I mean, it met kind of like met expectations. It was fun, and it was, they didn't, really mess up Kang too much. They kind of went in that direction where, um, it was a very serious, very, threatening sort of villain, and they played it well. So I kind of see it. Yeah, I don't
I
see. Yeah, go ahead.
I will say though, like the beginning is good. The middle of the movie kind of gets a little mucky. That's where I started to have. I
Okay,
don't think it's disastrous, but that's where it starts to have maybe it's not strong suit. But when you get to the end, bro,
it's
it
crazy.
ramps up.
Yeah.
There's a specific person, actor that people knows in the movie, but when his cameo comes in, and then it just starts to go off. I feel like in a way that's really 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 cool.
Okay. Cool, man. That's awesome. Yeah. I'll watch it whenever I watch it.
Yeah, yeah, for
I'm not
sure.
gonna go
Yeah,
out
for
of my
sure.
way on this one, but I'm glad you liked it because
Yeah,
we when the reviews started coming out, we were kind of
I
scared.
was scared.
It
Yeah,
was kind of scary. And going back to again, yeah, like Man of Steel and even when we mentioned like Iron Man 2 and the
yeah.
lower scoring Marvel movies, and even those movies are enjoyable. So,
Except for Eternals.
except for oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Eternal
Literally,
was just
that's
a
like the one
slog,
that
man.
has its own island.
That thing was so weird, and I don't
Yeah,
know. That movie was
doesn't
not.
have strong
That movie was
rewatchability.
not good. Yeah, that movie
Yeah,
was just not like the characters were unlikable, and you couldn't. Yeah, honestly, it's like it had unlikable
it's
characters. You
forgettable. It's
can
just
relate. Yeah,
yeah,
unforgettable. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's yeah, that movie. It's missing the human element. Uh, honestly, yeah, because it's like
yeah,
you can't, and that's usually the problem when you have movies. Like if you were to do a Superman movie that's set in Krypton, right? That
mm,
would probably not be good because you won't be able to relate, right? And I think that's what happened to Eternals, where it's like everyone was unlikable and unrelatable, and just everyone was forgettable. And the villain, there was no villain. It was some lizard thing, some lizard goop thing, and it was just not good. Yeah,
yeah,
I'm glad you like it, man.
yeah.
That's good to hear.
I think you'll feel similar to me. Like there's gonna be parts where you're gonna be scratching your head, going really, but then when you get to the payoff, it's good enough. So yeah, it was good.
Cool,
Good for
that's
that at
good, man.
least.
Yeah, let me. I'm gonna try and adjust one of my mic
Yep,
filters here because I.
all
It
good.
seems that that my limiter is a little too aggressive. Hold on. Hey, test 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Nope. Yeah, things happens when you're playing around live. So yeah. So I'm gonna leave this. I'm gonna leave this here. How's that? All right, cool. Um, yeah, because that for we're running through hoops to be able to record this, right?
Very
It's like
true.
it's I don't want to get too technical, right? And I know that everyone that does a stream of sorts runs through some technical hoops, but I'm capturing audio from two different sources to get the audio right. So my mic goes through OBS with the filtering, and Joel's coming in from a different source. So uh, yeah, pardon our dust. We're working on it. It's
All right, Walt Disney.
blame OBS for releasing an update and breaking everything. So I may have to just probably delete everything that's on OBS and restart. Right, I don't want to do that, but uh, I just may have to do that. But hey, Bad Batch. I think I would say pretty good episode for a filler
Yeah.
episode. Um, if only all filler episodes were this good. um, yeah, I think it had some really good character development for Omega. Um, and kind of unexpected, right? Because I knew that when Echo left on the previous episode, he stayed with Rex doing they're gonna he stayed with Rex. They were gonna do their own thing for a bit, and I didn't see Omega taking it this hard, but like she was like straight up depressed that Echo left,
Yeah.
and and there was a very interesting dynamic between uh her method. That's like everyone copes different, right? Like she was coping in a way, and then um the rest of the team was coping in a different way, and she didn't understand that they all have their way of dealing with loss and this sort of thing. I mean, they didn't really lose Echo, but he was no longer a companion at that time, right? Um, I think because the hijinks and the thing in the mine and all that was kind of generic, right? But I think that the character development and the character interactions was where this episode shined to me, and I think it was pretty good overall for a
No,
filler episode.
I agree. It's if you're gonna have a filler episode, let it at least be something that um progresses or shows another side of a character that you like. And that's what this did. Like they took an opportunity to um humanize Omega. She's still, she's still a youth. She's still somebody who's adapting to this new lifestyle. And it kind of reminded me of, I want to say it was the second episode when she takes it really
Yeah,
personal when she overhears them talking about like we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for her, and she almost wants to risk her life right for the backpack that dropped all the goods, right? Because like she really wants a family. But
yeah,
I
yeah,
love the scene when Tech is like laying out everything to her, and he's like, "I don't understand what your problem is. Like,
yeah,
we did
yeah,
this and this,"
exactly.
and then
That
and
was very
Hunter's
good.
like,
Yeah,
and Hunter just comes around. He's like, "That is the problem because like we said, like the
because
stuff you just said is the problem."
how you're saying it is the problem. Yeah, that
Like,
was
it was like it
yeah,
was such a great way of showing, like you're saying, just a differentiation of
yeah,
how people
yeah,
process their feelings.
yeah,
But yeah,
and
it's cool.
I think just to make it more interesting is that the fact that they're all clones, and they're still
Right,
managed to they all do the coping different, and they
right.
all have their personalities and whatnot, which was like a lot of the service that Clone Wars did, Clone Wars the show, did for to add to Revenge of the Sith, more than anything, right? Was giving the clones personality and have them be different and and think different, right? Because
Yeah.
we saw them as disposable, kind of like battle droids, right? And
Right.
you know, the the Senate views them that way, right? Because we saw it already on the past episodes. But they're not, right? They feel and think different from each other,
Yeah.
so that they're all unique, even though they're clones. So I think it was well done. Pretty good stuff there. So
For sure, for sure. That
yeah,
was a good episode. I think though, if this was the filler episode, we would have to imagine the pattern continues, and we'll probably get a heavier episode, more meaty episode this coming week. So we shall see. It's pretty exciting. We're close to the Mandalorian season 3 coming in. So
yeah,
been staying away. I know they've dropped like a new teaser trailer thing. I'm not even watching it. I'm ready. I'm ready for this show. I don't need to see anything else.
yeah. Yeah, I haven't even watched that last one that came out. That
Me
I
either.
think it was like a tease or something. Yeah, I haven't watched it. I was like, I'm not gonna
Yeah.
watch it. Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah. I'm seeing the
It's like the
this
Mario. It's like
series.
it's like I'm. If it weren't for like the hype, right, I would stop watching Mario stuff, especially the Super Bowl thing, because that was
The
super hype,
plumbers.
bro.
That
They
was
got the Super
great.
Mario Bros. Super Show theme song there. So good, very very well done. Have you gone to the site or recall the number?
No.
No. Okay, it's very good.
I did you call the number? I didn't
Yeah,
call
call
the
the
number
number.
either.
Yeah,
Oh man.
yeah. Let me see if I still have it. We can probably play it on the air, like just in
Yeah,
case.
I'm sure
I
for
just want to make
marketing
sure.
purposes. Yeah, but that was a really cool spot there. And I something like that, it's like, oh, is this a clip from the movie? Probably not. They probably just made this literally just for the Super Bowl, which is great. And it was just a really fun thing.
Yeah,
We've got plenty
I
of
I
content from that.
I
Here
got
we
I
go.
got I got. Here we go.
Thank you for calling
Oh,
Super Mario Brothers Plumbing. It's me, Luigi. And if you need service, please text us at the same number. You just call 92955 Mario. That's 929-556-2746. Message us about any issues wherever you live. House, condo, mansion? And we'll be sure to text you back right away because at Super Mario Brothers Plumbing, we don't say let's wait. We say let's go. Oh, and check our website, snbplumbing.com. We're still working on it, so more updates to come. Bye-bye.
Good, it's
wow.
good stuff, man.
That's
For like Mario
awesome.
marketing, they're marketing some point, dude.
Fantastic.
It's
This
some point.
people are not ready for this,
I'm
bro.
telling you, bro. two
They're going
billion
hard.
dollars. Been saying it.
They're coming for Avatar.
Yeah.
It's just
So the site's
yeah,
pretty good. The site is
yeah.
pretty good. It has a lot of Easter eggs. If you go, it has like testimonials and all that. It's pretty funny. It
Wow,
has the
wow, yeah.
number right. But it has like Easter eggs like hidden right, and they're you know I'm guessing that as the time gets closer, we're gonna see more of that. So yeah, very good stuff. Like that. This was
Wow.
the perfect way to tease the movie at the Super Bowl and not show anything new from the movie, which I think they should not show anything else, right? Um, yeah, dude, I am 110% in on this thing. Like my daughter already, because I don't know if you've seen any of the toys that are coming out that
Yes,
are attached to the
yes.
movie, but I showed my daughter, and my daughter's like, we should go and get the toys. I was like, stop it. Because I already pre-ordered a ton of stuff for this year. I can't keep up. It's like between all the games and
Yeah.
the beast mode Gohan and all that I've
Oh
pre-ordered
man.
this year, dude. Is like I can't. I gotta.
It's crazy,
It's
crazy.
it's too much. But no, the marketing for the Mario movie on point, man. It's really
Yeah.
really good. So again, the 2 billion. Also, I mean, I had it on the notes, but might as well just talk about it now. Super Nintendo World opened officially today at Universal Studios Hollywood. So, congrats to everyone involved in the U.S. team making it happen. And yeah, now come over and wrap it up over here because I'm really excited. And yeah, like Miyamoto was there last night during the
Yeah.
opening. They had a big celebration. I think it was like uh, Wednesday night where they had their opening event, and then they had a preview yesterday, and then today is the first like official opening.
Mm.
Official day that's open to everyone. So, yeah, good stuff, good stuff. Mario making the big bucks. So
It's just cool because these all the stuff we see online there, I feel like people be, oh, that's just the same that's gonna come to Florida. And yes, but
it's
no. Like
bigger.
we're yeah, here we're spoiled. Obi and I living in the Sunshine State. It's coming right to our backyard and it's gonna be huge. I mean, it's bigger. It's what, three rides? Donkey Kong, Yoshi, and the
And the Mario Kart, yeah,
Mario Kart.
yeah. I mean, that's not counting. I don't know if Donkey Kong's gonna have another attraction separate. Because
True.
they really haven't showed anything. We know that they have the Mine roller coaster. That's kind of like been out there,
Sure.
uh, but yeah, ours here is gonna be bigger. I know that Japan, they're already building the Donkey Kong expansion.
Right.
That's already in the works. So um, makes you wonder what other expansions we could see. So
It's true.
it's
It's
gonna
very
be
true. Did
yeah
you see, not to change the subject, but did you
yeah.
see also Universal's working on a How to Train Your Dragon live action
I
movie?
did see that. Yeah, I
And
think
it's
that came
like
out today, right?
I saw it yesterday, I think, but yeah,
Yeah,
like today it started getting traction. But it's just showing you Universal has been waiting for this opportunity. They know what
yeah,
people want. People have been asking for this. They're giving it to them.
yeah.
Do not count these people out.
No, man, they're
The future's
coming.
very bright for them.
Yeah, they're coming. They're coming for Disney's candy for sure, man.
Yeah.
And and I think they're doing a great job. So,
Yeah.
it's. I was talking to my daughter this morning, and because we were talking about the thing opening, right? I was like, well, like ours would have opened this year if it would have been for the human malware.
Mm,
We would have been this summer we would have gone to the one here, but
yeah,
it is what it is, and then what we'll get to it. We'll get to it eventually,
for sure.
um, but I'm looking forward to it, and
Look,
I think
I'm tempted to make a pit stop when I'm in
do it,
California
man, do
for
it.
Comic Con. Might need to fly me to LA first and jump over there in Hollywood and do this.
There you
I might
go,
need to do it
there you go. So I think that's a great idea, man.
and get some
Since you're
content while I'm
since
out
you're
there.
since you're going, dude, might as well just kill it. Yeah,
Right?
yeah. No, good stuff, good stuff. Yeah, it's gonna be this movie's gonna do really, really well. We have a ton of topics to go through, but before we take a break and jump into that, did you watch the trailer for Fast 10, sir?
Oh, I had not only did I watch the trailer online, saw the Super Bowl, but then had to see it in IMAX for yesterday with before Ant-Man and the Wasp:
Oh,
Quantumania.
my
I
condolences.
cannot wipe just the craziness off my face of like, what is this?
This movie looks
What
so
is
stupid.
happening? Um, Jason Momoa looks
He
ridiculous.
looks ridiculous, right?
He looks ridiculous. It
And
was like
you can tell that he's out of shape because he's always wearing like baggy clothes. So
Uh, and so the one funny thing is
what?
Brie Larson's character supposedly is
Yeah.
O'Brien's sister. So we'll see if that's actually a thing.
Oh,
It's all
Brad's sister. Okay.
family. It's all
Yeah, it's all
family.
family. It's all
Everybody's
family,
related.
bro.
John
But
Cena somehow is
he's back,
the
right?
brother of Vin Diesel,
Right,
like because that totally makes sense.
dude. That last movie
So-
was so dumb. Oh,
I can't,
I
bro.
can't, dude. And then I'm watching this trailer, and everything looks so ridiculous. And then the thing with the explosion, and then the sonic boom gets the shockwave leaves the car,
Yes.
and but then I was
And
like, oh, I
the
was
magnet ball rolling through
yeah,
and crushing
and
the
all that is dumb, right? It's like dumb action movie thing, right?
yeah.
And I totally get it, right? It's suspension of disbelief and all that, and it's like these things don't happen in real life, right? But bro, when you take the those two choppers and they harpoon the car in and
That
they
would
lift
never.
it up, bro. No, check it out, check it out. and they lift up the car, and friggin' Toretto like pushes the nitrous button in the air, and the car falls down the helicopter.
There's no way.
Watching
There
this,
is no
and I'm
way.
dying. It's like there's no traction in the air. Where is he?
But this is the same guy who had his hand on the stick while they were floating the car. Remember, what was it,
Oh,
Fast
he
Seven or
was
whatever it
shifting
was
in the
when they
air
were
or something,
dropping?
right?
He's like shifting gears while they're
While they're falling
parachuting in the sky.
down.
That doesn't do anything.
Bro, and then no, that's not the worst part, right? It's like the
Oh my
worst part is
gosh.
that he presses the nitrous, the car's like somehow like uses the air for traction, right? Defying the laws of gravity, and then just brings down the shoppers. It's like, no, this is too much. It's like I appreciate it, right? I appreciate the silliness and all that, and
Yeah.
I can suspend my it's fine, right? But even in the last movie, like it was too much. Like,
Well, when they went to space, like there's no crazier than that, dude.
but I know, yeah, but
That's
see,
it. Like that's
even that, as dumb as it was, right? And they should have, surely died, right? I don't.
two
I think
two
they would have
two
made
guys
it.
a guy that barely knew how to drift, is making with another guy a car, and that people at NASA whatever take years and months to calculate exact projections, and they just throw up a car in the middle of
Oh,
space like it's nothing because they can.
Joel, this I don't. They
Go
this
watch
is
Hidden Figures, and you'll never be able to look at that the scene the
dude.
same.
So this is the the I guess the perfect way to bring the meme in from The Simpsons. It's like, no, stop it, stop it. He's already dead. It's like this thing's been cooked for at least 3 movies now,
But
and
they make $1 billion,
I
bro.
know it's dumb.
So that's why they're gonna keep going.
The Japanese titles are awesome, like
Yes,
because they're
yes,
different from Fast and the Furious and whatever.
yes.
It's like high speed ice or something, something like that. That was the one from that
Yeah.
was the one where the Rock punched the submarine and the submarine went out. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, punched a nuclear vehicle
Yep.
and just
Very.
yeah. I still think about the ride at Universal, dude. I waited like an hour in
Oh,
line.
that's
I
hilarious.
waited like
You
an
wait an
hour. I
hour?
waited like an
Oh
hour, dude, because
man.
something happened and we ended up
Oh
waiting
my
an hour
gosh.
for the
No
ride. It
way.
was like 45 minutes. It
For a
wasn't real.
bus ride.
But no, it was like he punched the helicopter. Like he punched the helicopter and it came down. It's like no,
It's the ride or die scene when you're flying in the middle of the
no,
air.
it's not even
What do we
Cap.
do?
Like not
Ride
even
or
Cap.
die.
Dude, it's like Captain America held that helicopter right in Winter Soldier. It's like you're telling me that Toretto's stronger than Captain America. Is
Yes.
that what you're trying to tell me?
That's what you're telling me.
Yes. These movies need to stop. They need to stop. So, I mean, I get it, right? It's Universal's cash cow, right? It's like, well, and they got to do it because now they don't have any more Jurassic World until that gets rebooted.
Right.
But
And Transformers is coming back too. So because
yeah, well, that's
Transformers kind of fit
Paramount.
that
That's
void
not
too.
Universal.
That's
Yeah.
true. That's true. Yeah.
Um, so like at this point, right? And Fast and the Furious, right? Wait 3 years. I don't know. And see, the thing is that there's not like street racing as a whole is not even hot anymore. Like even like people like it was frowned upon back then,
Oh,
right?
for sure.
But now more so, and you know it's
What are you talking
it's
about,
not
Obed? We race every
it's
weekend.
not a right. It's not. I mean, it's not really a thing anymore. It's not a
No.
hot thing like it was back then. So
It's just that they have cool cars. That's it.
yeah. But I mean, and where you go from here, right? And it's like if you're going to do a reboot, right? Um, you gotta start somewhere, and start small. I guess like Toretto, they started stealing DVDs and CRTs, like DVD players, and
Dude, we
now
gotta
there's
go on a break or else we're gonna be
and,
roasting this thing
and now
forever.
they're stealing plutonium and all this stuff. It's ridiculous, man. All right. We'll be right back, guys. Don't go anywhere. And we're back. So that, Joel, is Wild Speed Fire Boost. Is the
Oh my
Japanese
goodness.
title for
Love that.
Fast 10. So dumb.
I love that.
It's
I
great.
love that. That's a great title.
Yeah, I love it. Kevin Feige. What's going on, Joel?
Yeah, so Kevin Feige's doing a lot of press. Obviously, he's got a small independent film that he just released. So, we're getting a lot of news stories around, all the questions that the media has been asking him about the future of the MCU, and a lot of information has come out. I'm just gonna give a little rundown briefly on some of the things. One of the first things being is look, this year, 2023, there's only two films that are for sure confirmed to be coming. It's films, so two Disney Plus shows that are confirmed to be coming out this year. That's Loki season 2, and that's Secret Invasion. Outside of that, they have not greenlit anything else to actually come out this year. Obviously, we know that they have other series that they've been sitting on. Think about like Ironheart. We know has for sure been filmed already. There's been set photos that's been leaked from that, and Echo we know has been in production for a while. But as they're saying it now, they are not rushing any of that stuff. They're just going to put out only at the moment Loki season 2, and Secret Invasion. We also find out that in the next 10 days or so, they're going to be starting already filming on Blade. So Blade finally is going to be in the works as a film. But in general, like this is the theme. There's a slowdown coming from the MCU. They're not really going to be ramping up to push out a bunch of the projects that we had heard about maybe, or at least been rumored before. He mentioned, for example, like Moon Knight. For like, there's been no confirmation on a second season, but the character will show up. I think that's the right choice. I don't think they need a second
I
season,
don't think so.
but I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
you can definitely bring the character into something else. But
yeah,
they're evaluating their options on that front. Um, Before we go forward on the other parts, what's your thoughts on that, Obed?
yeah. We're fatigued. Yeah. I agree, and this is the right choice, if you ask me. Not necessarily because there's a lot of stuff going on in Disney Plus. I think that Disney needs content for sure, right? They proved it with the last earnings call, but at the same time, they are squeezing some of these properties dry, and it's gotten to the point that like people can't keep up anymore. And if they want their big movies to be relevant, their big Avengers movies to be relevant when they come out, they need to be able to keep people in the loop and keep them interested. And I saw, and I guess we can link it to this, but I saw a quote floating around today from Liam Neeson saying
Yeah,
that the what went wrong with Star Wars is that there was so much Star Wars that it lost its magic and its mystery,
too
right?
many spin-offs.
Yeah,
Yeah,
too many spin-offs. So that's words of wisdom right there for both
agreed.
Star Wars and Marvel. So Marvel needs to be cautious with Disney Plus going forward, especially after She-Hulk. Um, and some because going back to Falcon Winter Soldier, that went through a full like rewrite reshoot thing, right? Um, and everything was fine, but then She Hulk started okay and went off the rails, and it ended up being um, probably the biggest disappointment since I don't know, you know, Bryce Skywalker probably. So uh, yeah, they just need to be cautious with what's out there and plan it out. I think this is the right choice. Just trickle it. You don't have to rush it. You know, and people will get to it. Is that you at this point you just need to concentrate on making quality content and not letting just anyone that knocks on your door write a show for you. So
Yeah, and that was one of the big things with Blade. Like supposedly Marshall Ali was really upset because Feige was not very involved with Blade with the prior director, and that seemed to be a theme with the other projects as well. Like when you think about Phase One of Marvel, Feige was on everything. He was on the set
Yeah,
of Iron Man. He was there for all the things that was going on. He was really involved. It's not that he's not involved, but it's almost like there's too much going on that he actually gave too much freedom to some of the creators, and we saw where that just didn't hit for everything. But some words of wisdom there for sure, Obed, on take a breather, slow it down. Quality over quantity.
totally.
We
Yeah.
saw Netflix go through it where they started doing too much and they had to slow things down. I think we're seeing Disney do the same thing. But outside of that, some good news that also came out of it is that they already have a story that is locked in for Spider-Man 4. They are ready for the next iteration of Tom Holland's Spider-Man. It's being worked on. They're figuring out the details. So my assumption, probably by Comic-Con this year, we'll get either a release date, thrown out, or at least what the title is and timeline. You would have to imagine that they would, put that movie out prior to Secret Invasion. I don't know about King, but maybe Secret Invasion specifically. That's just my guess between Avengers films. Maybe a
Okay.
2025 release, 2 years out. But that's just a hearsay guess. But yeah, a lot of and then also the Marvels, right? Like today, the Marvels just got out that got moved its release date. That's going to be November 10th,
So that
which is smart.
that flipped with Haunted Mansion, right? That's that's what I
But the Haunted
understood.
Mansion, and I think if I remember right, Indiana Jones was supposed to be also a Christmas movie or like a November Christmas, like around that time, and they switched that to also be earlier the
And then
summer.
moved it. Yeah.
Because usually Marvel has had, an end of the year or November film that comes out. And this was gonna be the first year we wouldn't have that, right?
Yeah.
Like we had Wakanda Forever this year, the year before we had Spider-Man, something that at least closes it out.
Yep.
So interesting for sure. A lot of shifting going on. I think more information to come. According to him, that Kamala really steals the show in the Marvels. And it's there's an Avengers like moment where you get all of them standing together. So look forward to seeing how that goes. We'll find
Yeah.
out come first November 10th of this year.
Yep. I smell reshoots. Yeah.
Could be. You're
After
probably
She
right.
Hulk
You're probably right. Yeah.
after She Hulk, I smell reshoots. That said,
Because Sam Jackson already said he was out for reshoots too. But he was going back to London to do some stuff.
yeah. And I thought about because I saw the poster this morning that came out, right, and then I realized it's like I should. Oh no, my bad. I was watching Bad Batch, and then on my continue watching was Miss Marvel. I was like I should keep going on that because I really liked that first episode.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's like not
Finale
my cup of
finale falls
tea.
apart, but it's fine.
Yeah, not not my cup of tea, but credit where credit's due. I think it was enjoyable and it was quite
Yeah.
charming. So, yeah, no, that's cool. I think that's the that's a rethinking their release schedule for the shows. More than anything, it's pretty important. It seems like most of the movie stuff is you know pretty much set, but we saw how fluid it was in the last couple of years, so we can probably expect that too. Um,
Yeah.
and Disney is probably trying to position itself to favor this sort of releases that give make some money. So I think things are gonna move around, but at least that the Slater movies, it looks like it's set right. The shows, I think there's some discussion to be had
Yeah.
about the both the release schedule and the shows that they're picking and the properties that they're picking,
That's what I was thinking too.
and who's involved. So uh, you know they're probably going to be a little bit more cautious going forward. So
100% agree. Like Daredevil Born Again, can't wait to see that. Agatha Coven of Chaos, why are you doing this?
yeah,
I'm not saying it's bad.
I mean,
I'm
as
just
much as
saying
I like
why.
Catherine Hahn on WandaVision, she was great, but
Yeah, yeah,
it's like
but
why,
why?
right? Yeah, it's like why.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. At this point, I should have just they should have just do something. I'd say that's more meaningful
Right.
to the overall MCU. But
This is why you lose people from caring. You know, you're diluting it too much. Too many
yeah,
spinoffs.
yeah,
The
it's
Liam
too
Neeson
much.
quote.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know.
Yeah.
He was right on the money
Yep.
on that quote. Yeah, and and I agree, right? But we cannot also be, uh, I guess we have to have perspective on it, right? Because Andor was a spinoff, and Andor was to me
Yeah.
excellent,
It
absolutely
doesn't mean
excellent, right?
spinoffs are all bad. It's just
Like
quality over quantity.
some of the mysteries gone, right? And I think that
Yeah.
Andor's exploring that very well. That the gap in between and backstory and how the Empire operates, that sort of thing. They're doing it really well. I don't think the animated stuff really dilutes anything. If anything, it just brings more lore and whatnot. Um,
The
but yeah,
Boba
like the
Fett.
Solo movie, we didn't need Boba Fett. We didn't need, and like I've said it about like the Boba Fett. Even when the movie was announced originally, I was like,
Obi-Wan
why
should have
would
been
it?
a movie.
Obi Wan should have been a movie. Yeah,
Why is this a spinoff show?
yeah, yeah. Honestly, but then Mando is special. Like you can't deny it, right? It's because Mando, like it's not perfect, right? But
No, but
it's
John Favreau, Dave, they know what they're
but
doing,
it's yeah,
bro.
it's the Star Wars that we the kid in me is like, oh, this is what I like about Star Wars, right?
Yeah.
So that's why I think it's Mando special. So yeah, man. We shall see where the MCU wraps up their I guess quest to perfection, if you would call it that. So
They can afford to be in this situation at the moment.
they can, yeah. Um, Joe, during the Super Bowl, we have another trailer, big trailer, of a movie that, according to you, it's not coming out.
Yep.
It's we got a trailer for the Flash, full trailer for the
Yep.
Flash. Um, go first.
So they kept the title The Flash, but this movie is not the Flash movie. I'm sticking with it.
Okay.
This movie is fundamentally changed. This is a Batman movie that has the Flash in it. I mean, look, the moment you put Batman in this movie, it changes things. What do people talk about the most with this trailer, Obed?
Batman.
Batman.
Michael Keaton. Yeah.
And should they be talking about Batman? Yes, they
Yes.
should.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Like it's all fair. It's all in it's all fairness. It's what how it should be. What a smart way to market this film. Like
Yeah.
if you want to get attention away from, somebody who has, been accused of a lot of things that, I'm not gonna
I
accuse them,
don't.
but look, some things have been in
Yeah.
4K, so take that as you will. But you say, look, we're gonna give you Batman, and we're not gonna give you just one Batman. We're giving you two Batmans at the minimum. Some people even said, wouldn't be surprised if Christian Bale's in this movie. That'd be so cool. But and then of course the really cool Supergirl sequence you get at the end of the trailer. Like really, really cool stuff from that standpoint. Looks like it's gonna be a fun adventure film. I don't know how about you a bit. Like it looks really good. Like
Yeah.
I have to
Yeah.
give credit, right? It
Honestly.
looks
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah.
But it doesn't like from the trailer, and this is just a trailer. I don't get the whole feeling where everyone's talking about, or not everyone, we've heard the rumors of like the best superhero movie ever, potentially. I don't get that from the trailer. I, I could be proven wrong when I watch it, and
Yeah.
I'm going to go in with an open perspective, but it just looks like a good movie. I will give
It
it that.
does. Yeah. It looks very
Yeah.
good. Like the uh that Michael Keaton when he shows up and the that Danny Elfman Batman music comes out, dude. That's grade
That's why I'm
A.
there.
That's grade A trailer, trailer bait right there because it's you're there for it, right?
Yep.
And it seems like not only Michael Keaton is back as Batman in the movie. It seems like it's a major role that he'll play in the movie. So I'm glad that that's happening. Here's my hope, right? That not probably not Batgirl, but that the Batman Beyond canceled movie gets uncanceled because of the reception.
I doubt it.
You doubt
I
it?
doubt it. I doubt it. And this is what makes me makes me and I think many people frustrated. If for some reason the actor who is playing the Flash is kept and everything else is wiped away, that will be extremely, and I don't talk like this usually on the show, but it will be one of the most stupidest things I have seen from a creative standpoint. It will make zero sense. Um,
We will play the intro
yep.
again. The
Yeah,
the the
we
the,
have to
the
play
Libby,
for
what are you
that.
doing? We'll do it.
Yeah,
We'll do
that
it.
will be. I don't care. The performance seems to be. I mean, there's a lot of strong feelings I'd have around that, and I'm not the only one. I think a lot of people would be having the same thing, because it just seems very unfair, is what I will say, for many people involved, in the whole thing. But look, regardless, I'm gonna see the movie, because I think it looks good.
Yeah, yeah. I think yeah. It looked phenomenal.
Yeah.
Um, I went in again. I'm going in with an open mind. I this movie I am going to go out of my way and try and watch it at the movie theater. It's and I understand, right? I understand your frustration, right? As I understand the frustration of many other fans, right? But at the end of the day, we are being impartial to it, right? And that's
Oh,
why,
sure. Yeah.
and that's something that
Yeah.
we've pride ourselves upon just being impartial to this sort of thing, and not saying, "Oh, this movie's trash," without watching it.
Right. Exactly. That would be wrong.
There's big YouTube channels out there, Joe, that do the kind of like the same thing we do, and they're trashing the movie. It's like you haven't even watched it yet. So
Yeah,
what the
you can't
heck?
do that. Yeah,
So
I'm not gonna
honestly,
lie and come up with false
yeah, it's
information.
like, oh, look at how trash this looks. Oh, look at this.
No.
It's like, oh, remember when this person choked a woman? It's like that's not the things that you bring up when you're doing a trailer like review, right? And
Yeah.
I think that at the end of the day, regardless of what happened, um, we all hear, and I know that a lot of these channels like either play it for either the comedy or the cringe or whatever they do to get views. Uh, but it's at the end of the day, a little bit of kindness goes a long way in my book. So, um, we're being impartial to it. You know, should other movies be affected by this movie specifically? We don't think that should have been the case, right? It's like with Superman being affected and Batgirl and the Batman Beyond movie. That's it, Joel. I don't know, man. I mean, if there is this movie reviews well and everyone, because like the only thing that everyone talks about this trailer is Michael Keaton.
Right.
So maybe the studio
But
will
that's the guy
say,
that gets
"Hey,
his project
maybe,
cut.
yeah." So maybe the studio will say, "Hey, maybe we were wrong, and we should just go ahead and put this thing back on track."
But according to Gunn, that was the problem that he had with the prior regime, where they would pivot their plans based on success. Oh, look, Suicide Squad, the first movie made a bunch of money. Let's start going in this theme. And oh, this is good. They were trying to chase the money, and they were losing their creative overall plan. I think he's gonna stick to his
But
plan. I
there's a
really
way
do
to,
think so.
yeah. But I think there's
And
a right way to be able to pivot,
oh, I
and
agree.
it's like because Marvel did it, so it's just that you have to do it the right way,
I agree. No,
and
I
yeah,
agree.
you have to give these things time to breathe. That was the problem that uh, DC was having, is like they were not letting the properties breathe properly, and then have the big thing is like they were rushing to go to Justice League without having you know without introducing like half of the characters, and that was their problem, right? It's like you gotta you know, give it time to breathe. We'll go for the lead up, right? Tease a character here, see how the audience reacts to that tease. If the reaction's well, then introduce the character in the next movie, right? But no, man, it's like, and I totally understand, right? And that's I think that's a good observation, but um, they, yeah, I mean, it's like fan service. The movie we already had it with Spider Man, and I know that there's what they're kind of trying to do,
Right.
and I'm hoping it does well. I'm hoping it reviews
I,
well. I'm hoping it does well, financially for them. So,
I think this movie's gonna handle the multiverse better than Doctor Strange did. And I called it from when I saw after I saw
oh
Doctor
yeah,
Strange. I'm like, look, when this comes out, because it was not
that was a huge
it.
letdown.
That was a huge letdown. We
Yeah,
were promised a multiverse film, and it just didn't give us the kind of crazy stuff we wanted.
yeah,
But I think this movie, I think it may land. So we'll see.
yeah, yeah. Hopefully. All right. It's a couple of bit of news from the gaming side of things. Real quick, PSVR comes out next week. Reviews are out, and apparently this thing's very good.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
if you're willing to spend the $550 and you already own a PS5, you know,
That's the kicker. You have to have a PS5.
yeah. I mean, you can get a PS5 now anywhere at Walgreens.
Right.
So
But like you can't, little Billy can't say, oh, go get me this, and he doesn't have PS5. He's got first get his PS5, and then little Billy's he's gotta wait for his birthday because it can't be too close
oh, okay, okay,
to get his PSVR too.
yeah. So those are reviewing very well. A lot of users are saying that it's, it looks really really good. Like the screens are really immersive, and the tech behind it and the quality of the overall product is very good. So yeah, good for them. Is this for me? Probably not. I would rather spend my $500 upgrading my computer so we don't have any more technical issues. But that's just me, right? But it seems like it's a good device, and it's very well built, and it's a high quality product. So
Yeah.
there's that.
I mean, remember, this is a year where Meta is going to be releasing a new Meta Quest this year, and they're also going to be releasing a more like pro version as well, supposedly by this year. And rumors are that Apple also is going to be launching their own headset by this year. So between
Yeah,
PSVR 2 and this is going to become a new competitive gaming space. There's clearly a lot of plans in the works. So I'm very curious to see. Yeah, we're seeing it launch now, and it's good to see that the tech is good, but I'm very interested to see like when we come back to this 2 years from now, and it's the year 2025, and what kind of progress has been made, what's the adoption rate, what's the interest level. Be very curious to see, because I do see it shifting. And look, the few VR experiences that I've had, with the one I have at the MetaQuest for the Star Wars experience that they had at Disney Springs, and then the Iron Man experience that I had for the PSVR one at San Diego Comic Con. I've enjoyed it. I think it's cool. It's just like you said, the cost factor is what keeps me out of it. It's I can't justify buying something that's cool like that to only play maybe 2 or 3 games that I might really enjoy, where I could use that money for other things. But that's just an adoption curve. It may not always be that way. We'll see.
yeah, I agree. Not to use this as a segue, but remember when back in the E3 days, it sounds so long
I
ago.
know.
But remember back in the Xbox One days when Xbox or Microsoft was showing HoloLens, and all the
Oh
Xbox
yeah.
fanboys were like, "Oh, wait until HoloLens comes out! It's gonna blow out the PSVR out of the water, and
Nope.
the Oculus and all that." And it never came out for like consumers. It just stayed as like a government and construction, as like more of a I guess a high end professional type of device, and it never came out for gaming
Nope.
as they
Yeah.
were touting it. So yeah, not to use that as a segue, but Microsoft is in the news for two reasons. The first one is, and I'll go with the report that allegedly, and this could be misleading from Microsoft's end, but they're saying that due to Game Pass, they have seen uh, I guess a reduction on overall game sales for the Xbox platform, and this could be a hey, this is why we need to buy Activision. This could be one of those things, right? But at the same time, right, it's telling, and yeah, I totally believe it. Like, like I don't think people are pre-ordering Xbox games in droves anymore. Like, I think people are just hanging on to their Game Pass and waiting for those things to drop instead of just going out buying the game and supporting the studios. So yeah, uh, that's pretty interesting that it got out there, and they're like admitting they for some reason, Joel, they have not released numbers again. Like,
Oh
it's been a
wow. Yeah.
while. And because PlayStation came out and they said that it's like, oh yeah, we sold like 36.5 million or whatever. By the way, the PS5 outselling the Switch in Japan for the last 3 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah, so
There you go.
it's catching on. Yeah, we talked about the Switch already, where it's already reached market saturation, and we talked about it a couple weeks ago when it was, I think it was last episode or 2 episodes ago.
Yeah.
Um, unless they release like a brand new piece of hardware, that's gonna be the case. But yeah, man, I mean, this thing, like, Xbox is still like 230 or 240, like 239 everywhere for the
Yeah.
Series S. And I think that's gonna be the price, which would be crazy because it would be the first console since the Xbox One to have a price drop, because Switch hasn't dropped, the PS5 never dropped, the PS4 Pro never dropped price.
Hmm.
It was always $499, or $399, $399. And it's interesting, and it's kind of telling. Uh, I don't know. I don't know how that division is doing, man. And then Microsoft cutting departments and restructuring and doing whatever they're doing, right? I don't know. I think that something's not right, and it's one of those, again, when and I hate to bring it up, and I know that you know the fanboys may get mad at it. It's like, oh, because they can. It's like they're kind of like trying to buy their way to the top, but at the same time, it's like, what are they doing? Like, hey, Microsoft, what are you doing? I'm gonna create a video for you. An intro, Microsoft, what are you doing? Like we did for WB.
Got
So we've
to.
been fumbling this thing around, but what do you think, man?
Yeah, it's so ironic that you threw us in the notes when you did, because today I had a discussion impromptu. There I am getting my hair cut at the barber shop after work today, and literally one of the guys, because he knows that I like to play games, he likes to play games, and he's like, "Yeah, I was talking the other day with my buddy about Game Pass," and he's like, I don't know how, like, oh, we were talking like subscriptions as a service, different companies, and he was like, I don't know how like Xbox does it. He's like, it's like $70 to buy a game outright, but then if I do Game Pass, it's like $120 for the whole year. He's like, I just do that and I just wait. He's like, I'm saving myself tons of $700 in theory if I buy just 10 games in the year or whatever, and I was like, yeah, it's true, but he's like, the manufacturers, like the ones that are actually developing it, seems like the publishers, they must be losing so much money on this. I'm like, yeah, they have to be. Well, this is where that this information is coming about and going around. It totally it totally makes sense for Microsoft, but it's just unfortunate because they're not doing anything to benefit the people who are actually making games. And that's where, like, it's a little give and take. I don't know what the change from the modeling is, because I do like the idea. I actually really like Game Pass from the idea of what it offers. I think like that almost like Netflix style type thing could be really valuable. But from a fiscal standpoint, it is a little worrying because, something like this, could affect future quality of games and even the quantity of games and relationships with these devs. Like you said, Obed, your only way to fill the catalog is to buy out, an entire publisher. Hey, let's go buy Activision, so that way we don't have to worry about these kinds of,
Yeah.
you know, issues with them. That's worrisome for me.
No, totally, totally. Yeah, it's they. I don't know. And we've said it. I think the Xbox Series X is a really good product.
Amazing.
It's
Yeah.
a good, really good device, and I think Game Pass is a great service. But at the same time, yeah, you need to. That's that's a great analogy, right? It's like why pay 700 when I can have all this for 120, right?
Right.
So I don't know, and the wasn't Phil Spencer say the other day or a few weeks ago that like they Game Pass reached saturation where there's been a significant slowdown on people signing up. So
Yeah.
it's yeah. I mean, granted they do have the PC version, right? And it's like people that don't have an Xbox can have the service. I mean, it's a lesser product on PC, mind you, but you know,
Right.
there's still a PC option for it. I don't know, and this one you can take with a grain of salt. But there was an article today, um, published in gamingbible.com that Xbox is considering phasing out completely first party physical releases and going all digital on those. Um,
Interesting.
apparently, this is gonna be a it's already set to go in effect in some regions. I think like South America, if I'm not wrong. Let me double check. I want to make sure that I'm giving you guys the right info here. I'm almost certain it was like Brazil or something. But yeah, I mean it's a rumor that they're that they're planning to go all digital with their first party releases. So yeah, Brazil. So
Yeah.
that's that they already basically confirmed that they're not producing physical like first party titles. So yeah, man. I mean, they have a console that doesn't have a disc drive, and I mean, so does PlayStation. But PlayStation, they don't, yeah, they don't do that. Granted, you can get like God of War without the game, like the collector's edition without the game, and you can buy the game separate if you have the digital version. So, um, yeah, it's just that it's been a long time coming for Microsoft, right? Because they've been wanting to do this for since the Xbox One days, right? Remember,
Right.
it was like, hey, if you don't have an internet connected device, you can buy an Xbox 360.
360. Ooh,
So,
that'd go
so
over
man,
well.
hard to believe that's almost 10 years ago, man.
I know.
There's been 10 years since the
Yeah.
reveal of the PS4. Jeez,
Exclusive.
dude, we're old.
You are. I'm Joel Young.
You're Joel Young.
I will always pull that card, sir.
Oh, you
10 years from
always
now, no load
you
time. Still gonna
you
be saying it.
you always have the young card on you, sir.
That's right.
It's
That's
your
right.
it's your
Literally.
ID.
It's my
It's on it.
name. Oh my
That's good.
God.
That's good. But yeah,
But physical, like this whole thing, you and I'll keep it brief, but like, you and I've said before, like it kind of seemed like the writing was on the wall with even just in general, like this is not even just like a Microsoft thing, like
hmm
just in general across all of gaming, like physical copies are not as popular as they once were. Most people are getting their stuff digital. So maybe it's a way of cost cutting as well, right? You have to ship out all these
yeah,
titles, all these places. But then I saw like the headlines being things like, well, you might just literally have a box that just has like a code in it. Like imagine going to a store and just picking up an empty shell with a code to download. That's a little weird. I don't. At first, I also assumed it was like, is this a part of the whole like green initiative? Because I know like they did an update, which is pretty cool to like the system where like it was a low power mode or whatever. But I'm like, you're not really being more eco-friendly if you're still putting out papers that have codes on them. It's still killing some trees. But that was just
Yeah,
a theory. They didn't say that's why they're doing it. I think it's just more so an executive decision, probably based on some data behind it to prove that's unnecessary. But yeah, I mean, like I don't. I'm a physical copy person.
yeah, me
I
same.
like to get my stuff. I'm not saying I bought digital before. So it would be hard for someone like me, but I gotta understand like things are changing, the world is shifting. Most people who have an Xbox, like we're saying, have Game Pass anyway, so they're streaming their stuff. So yeah, I mean, it's not the biggest thing, but it's a weird one for sure.
Yeah, yeah, we'll see where all this ends up for good old MS. Joe, that's what we got for this week. Let's go ahead and take us home.
Absolutely. Thank you all so much for sticking with us. We want to invite you to stay subscribed to No Load Time. So make sure you're subscribed on podcast platforms of your choice, places like Spotify, SoundCloud, Amazon Music, Apple Music. Find us on these podcast platforms. Hit that subscribe button, write a review that really helps us out. Share with your friends, your family, and also make sure you're subscribed to our video version on the No Load Time YouTube channel. We're broadcasting live. It's a really great time for sure there. Also, follow us on social media at No Load Time. That's at No Load Time. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. You can see down below on if you're watching the video version those social handles. You also can follow No Load Time Altogether on Twitch. That's No Load Time Altogether on Twitch. Broadcast live there. And last but not least, if you have a question, comment, or feedback, we'd love to hear from you. So send an email to noloadtime@gmail.com. That's noloadtime@gmail.com. Maybe, just maybe, we'll even discuss that topic on a future show. Thank you all so much for being with us. We got so much more to talk about, and we'll see you on our next episode.
Thank you guys. Stay safe. We'll see you again next time.